Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another video. I really appreciate you guys checking in. This is kind of like a part 2 of what I posted yesterday, so if you guys are going to be a little bit confused, go check out the video I posted yesterday. I'll leave it in the comment or the description box down below for you to watch. Today I thought I would just go a little bit more in depth of my injury, I guess, and what exactly happened. I've got my husband's video open. It's called Danger, Nature is Unforgiving. I'll leave that also in the comment box, the description box down below. I have not yet watched it. I got till 3:36 and I had to pause and just take a moment to breathe. But I figured I would watch it a little bit and kind of explain my point of view or whatever. What? Yeah, I figured I would watch it a little bit and kind of just put my point of view on it. Backstory, we went to the river expecting just to check it out. We had not full intentions, or like we thought the river was gonna be frozen because it had been like -50 here for a couple days and it had been really, really cold. So we thought the river was gonna be frozen, and then when we got there, as you can see in the video, actually, like the river is completely covered in snow, and like where we were up top was like the dam. So like the river came like this and then it went down, and then it was like a pool like where we used to always fish. So we figured we'd walk over the rocks like by the waterfall or whatever to get to the other side because it was really pretty. And yeah, and my husband, being the curious butt that he is, he had to go see how far he could go over like the waterfall before he would just fall down. See, what he thought was the water would all be frozen, so he was just going to slide down the snow and then he would just walk over here. Little did he know, waterfalls don't freeze. Why we didn't know this, but we didn't know this because we should have seen the way that the snow was draping over like the waterfall. It had been melting over here a little bit, so that's why he fell through the ice. Like it was like thin ice and then he fell through. He managed to get his knee on the lip of the ice, so just like the one leg all the way up to his hip, he was in the water. So and then he started screaming for me because I was already at the other end because I followed the boys. We just walked straight across. He's always doing his own thing anyways. So all of a sudden he started screaming. I look over and he's gone. Like he fell right over the lip. And I was like, where, what? So all of a sudden he starts screaming, Lisa, get that log, or get that stick. That was no stick, that was a freaking log. It was like huge. How I managed to get that log, like it was at the other end. We were walking and he had seen that stick. So I quickly ran over, got that log, dragged it towards him, and he weighs like, I'm not gonna say like 175 pounds. Little 100-pound me, I can't lift him. I knew that. So I got that log over to him. He grabs onto it and he tells me to pull him up. I was like, I can't pull you up. So I got my footing on 2 rocks, and then I held onto it really, really tight, and I told him to pull himself up. And he would just like crawl along the log. So that's what he did, and then eventually we got him out. So then we booked it. We were like, okay, we're leaving, like, we're getting off. So then we booked it to the other side, like where the boys were standing, and we didn't think anything of it, and I didn't think anything of it. So I started crawling on the rocks, and my foot, I was on the rock, and I didn't realize that we were still like on the river because we thought we were on the bank or whatever. So I'm walking, and my foot, I was wearing like these big snowboarder boots. I stepped on a rock and I slipped off, and my foot went into the river. So my other foot, as you can see in the video, or I'm hoping that you can see in the video, he says it's in the video anyways, my one leg was on the shore, or on the rock, and my other whole leg, right up to my hip, again my right leg, was in the water, in the hole, I guess. So me panicking, I didn't even know what to do, so that's why I broke down crying basically. I think he got that in there too, he says he did. So in my foot, it was dangling there. I could feel it splashing in the water. So here I am panicking because I didn't know if I would put the weight on this foot, if both feet would fall in, then I would be completely under because there was rocks everywhere. But eventually he calmed me down and then I pulled myself out, and I didn't realize what exactly I had done to my foot. I knew it hurt, but I knew my boys and us needed to get to the truck. Nothing else was on my mind. I just knew we needed to get to the truck now. And we were on the other side of the river. And Ryan, he's always been the lazy type. He prefers to be carried. So I told Jacob and Owen to go ahead and start the truck, because we had to like go around the river, over the road, over the bridge, and then to the truck. So I told them to go ahead. So I picked up Ryan and I carried him all the way to the truck. And then once we got to the truck, I was like, oh my goodness, my foot really, really hurts. But we had about a 45-minute drive home, so I didn't really think of anything of it. And then once we got home, to get out of the truck, I stepped out on my right foot, of course, and I could put no weight on my foot. My foot hurt so bad. And I just tried and I tried and I tried, and I could not put any weight on my foot. So I was like, Jacob, I just can't do it. I can't walk. And he's like, oh, whatever, you just sprained your ankle, like, because it didn't look like much. So I couldn't do it. And then eventually he came around, he got the boys inside, and then he actually had to carry me inside because I could not walk inside. But I figured, oh, whatever, it's just a sprain, I'll put some ice on it and it'll be good to go. And then we came inside, he laid me down on the couch and I rested for a bit. I put ice on it and it wasn't really swelling that much, so that was really weird. It was like blue, like purplish or whatever, so I knew it was really hurt, but I didn't think how much it actually was hurt. So then he ended up putting the boys to bed, or to naps, and then I kept on icing it and it just hurt and hurt and hurt, and eventually I had to go pee. So I tried standing on again and it hurt like 10 times worse. I was like, Kate, I need to go to the doctor. Something is wrong. I was convinced at that point that it was broken. So then he ended up dropping me off at the hospital because he had the boys with him and I didn't want him to have to sit there for hours and hours with the boys. So he dropped me off. He dropped me off around 2:30 at the emergency, and he ended up like just putting me in a wheelchair so that I could wheel myself around, because I still could put no weight on it. And then around 7:38ish, they finally called me in and they did x-rays, which was like the most excruciating pain of that day yet, because they had to like bend my foot different ways and stuff. So they ended up doing 3 x-rays and nothing was broken, but he was feeling around and like asking me like what hurt and what didn't hurt and stuff, and he ended up getting to the conclusion that I had tore a tendon in my foot.
I want to tell everybody something.
Very soon, okay? So I ended up tearing a tendon in my foot, and then he said I probably had sprained it really bad too. So yeah, so I ended up having to be on crutches for the last week and a half or so. Finally, I was able to put some weight on it. What was it, by like Wednesday or Thursday? But till this day, it still really hurts, and I still have a bit of a bump on my foot. So yeah, that's basically what happened there and why. And then all of this was just like physical pain, and then not to mention like everything going on in my head, and just long story short, we were all good, we're all safe. We're gonna stay on the ground, not on ice. I still have a fear of water, and that's just on top of all this yet. But we're all good. What did you want to say?
And I slipped all the way until it covered my knee, and then I could pull myself out.
Yeah, he fell into the snow, right? The
Yeah.
deep snow, right?
And I could pull myself out.
Yeah, you pulled yourself out.
Not with any help.
No, you did all by yourself? Good. Yeah, so that's basically that story. I hope I haven't left anything out. If you guys are curious about anything else, let me know. But yeah, a lot of people are curious what happened with Jacob and his work. I'm gonna ask his permission first before I share some of that stuff, because I don't know if I'm allowed to share any of that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.